Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajākācārya Ashtatarashta Shri Srimad Abhai Charan Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Nama Acharya Shahridas Thakur ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhaktavrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Radha Kund Shyama Kund Giri Govardhan ki Vrindavan Dham ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Ganga Mai ki, Yamuna Mai ki, Tulsi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Pramananda. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 10 and text 19. Vivakṣor mukhato bhūmno vahnir vyāhṛtaṁ tayoḥ jale caitasya suciram nirodhaḥ samajāyata vivakṣor mukhato bhūmno vahnir vyāhṛtaṁ tayoḥ jale caitasya suciram nirodhaḥ samajāyata vivakṣor mukhato bhūmno vahnir vyāhṛtaṁ tayoḥ jale caitasya suciram nirodhaḥ samajāyata vivakṣor mukhato bhūmno vahnir vyāhṛtaṁ tayoḥ jale caitasya suciram nirodhaḥ samajāyata Mataji? Vivakṣoḥ, when there was a need to speak. Mukhataḥ, from the mouth. Bhūmnaḥ, of the supreme. Vahnir, fire, or the controlling deity of fire. Vibration. Vyāhṛtam, speeches. Tayoḥ, by both. Jale, in the water. However. Etasya, of all these. Suciram, a very, very long time. Nirodhaḥ, suspension. Samajāyata, did continue. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. When the Supreme desired to speak, speeches were vibrated from the mouth. Then the controlling deity, fire, was generated from the mouth. But when he was lying in the water, all these functions remained suspended. Purport. The peculiarity of the gradual development of the different senses is simultaneously supported by their controlling deities. It is to be understood, therefore, that the activities of the sense organs are controlled by the will of the Supreme. The senses are, so to speak, offering a license for the conditioned souls who are to use them properly under the control of the controlling deity deputed by the Supreme Lord. One who violates such controlling regulations has to be punished by degradation to a lower status of life. Consider, for example, the tongue and its controlling deity Varuna. The tongue is meant for eating, and men, animals, and birds each have their different tastes because of different licenses. The taste of human beings and that of the swine are not on the same level. The controlling deity, however, awards of or certifies a particular type of body when the particular living entity develops a taste in terms of different modes of nature. If the human being develops taste without discrimination, as does the swine, then the controlling deity is certainly certified for the next term to award him the body of a swine. The swine accepts any kind of foodstuff, including stools, and a human being who has developed such indiscriminate taste must be prepared for the degraded life in the next life. Such a life is also God's grace because the conditioned soul desired a body like that for perfectly tasting a particular type of foodstuff. If a man gets the body of a swine, it must be considered the grace of the Lord because the Lord awards the facility. After death, the next body is offered by superior control, not blindly. A human being, therefore, must be on his guard as to what sort of body he is going to have in the next life. An irresponsible life of indiscrimination is risky, and that is the declaration of all scriptures. Hare Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada brings a few very important points which has to be understood by us if we claim that we want to progress. Now, how we can perceive, not through senses, certain things, it happens only because it's the desire of the Lord. So, we read about creation. Now, it seems to be very technical. But if you think about it, then you can actually see how much affection the Lord has for all of us, for the jivas. He is trying to teach us. He is giving us like a manual how we can use this body, how we can use these senses. And He also gives us the free will. Like, you get you buy a computer or something. You get the computer, you get the manual how to use it. And now, there are some do's and don'ts. And if you follow that, you can get good result of using the computer. But if you don't use the manual, and if you use it whimsically, then what is going to be? You will abuse it, you will misuse it, it stops working. Like, there was some man, he was working in like a customer service. And it was a long time ago, or the era of desk computers. So once he said that he got a call, and there was the man, he was saying, "My computer doesn't work." I said, "All right, so let's see, did you do everything according to the manual? Did you set it up?" "Yes, it's just everything perfectly." "So, and then do you press the button, the power button?" "Yeah, I did that." "And then what happens?" Nothing comes up." "The screen is connected?" Yeah, screen is connected." "And any light on this?" "No, nothing." "Any light on the computer?" "No, nothing." So what can it be? Now, so everything connected, you are saying. Yeah, everything is connected and still doesn't work. Now, from the back of the computer, there is like a black line going, and the line goes into the socket. It is there? No, it's not there. So I think the best is just take the computer, put it back into the box, and send it back to us. So why? It's so difficult. It's so badly damaged. Maybe not, but you are not intelligent enough to use it. Anyway, he got fired after that. So anyway, are we intelligent enough to use the body? Sometimes yes, sometimes not. How the modes of nature work. Srila Prabhupada, he is giving the example of when his Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and he was opening, there was having a branch of Gaudiya Math in Burma. And over there, then they had a feast. And in the feast, devotees, what they do, right? So they cook sabjis, they make halwa, and they fry puris in ghee. I mean, that time it was just pure ghee, no? So you can imagine like the nice scent, everything was, like a delicatessen, really very nice. But it was in an apartment. It was not like a temple, it was still like an apartment. And people in the other apartments, they were complaining of it stinks. The frying in ghee, the halwa, and it stinks. So they were, complaining, what are you doing? This is terrible. Now, he gave also an example. So these people complain about what that somebody is frying in ghee, right? But the same people, they like to take nafi. And Srila Prabhupada, he explains what nafi. On a street, you get like a iron, like a drums. And when people see some like a dead animal, just throw it inside. So now, after some months, then the body decomposes with the rainwater also, everything. And when the people have their feast, so they go down, and each drum, there is a little tap at the bottom. They get a bottle and they fill up the liquid in the bottle. Then they go, and when they cook, they put that on their food as some soya sauce or whatever you want not to name it. Now, you can imagine the stink from it. But that's what they like. That's their delicatessen. But ghee stinks to them. These are the modes. So even within human beings, you have such a varieties of modes. And people like something, and then don't like something else, and vice versa. So, to understand Bhagavatam, to understand the Lord's mercy, then we have to endeavor to come to Shuddha Sattva. But, okay, it may not be so easy. Well, it's easy, but we are making it difficult for ourselves. But at least then Srila Prabhupada established sattvic lifestyle, the Brahminical lifestyle. We follow, what do we cook for Krishna? Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. Easy. So that's sattvic. And therefore, we can condition ourselves at least that way. And we learn to like something, what Krishna likes, and we don't eat what Krishna doesn't like because we don't offer it to him. Simple. And we adjust our taste. Many times happen. When new boys come to Gurukul, then they don't like bitter. No. Oh, bitter, Kerala, neem, no. But we tell them, take always a little bit. And after some time, they all like it. It's just the habit. We can learn to like what Krishna likes, if we want to. So now, Krishna is showing how considerate, how affectionate he is towards the living entities. Because if you want something and you really want it, okay, get it. And if you want it, you are a human. But if you really want it so much that you want to eat anything indiscriminately, okay, I'll give you a better body for this. So it's not a punishment. For Krishna, anyway, this is all game. We are the actors. We are just playing the game. Same like, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, play the game to fight with the Lord. So then now we are just the actors and we are just playing, to show just how foolish we are. So anyway, he gives the opportunity. And the jiva in the pig's body doesn't complain. It gets what he wanted. Like Indra, when he was cursed, he got into the pig's body. The time was over. And they tell him, hey, Indra, now you can come with us back to heaven. The demigods come. What? No, I don't want to. I'm happy here. I have my life, I have my family, I'm just very, very satisfied. I don't want to go. So we get attached to whatever situation we are. It doesn't matter after that. We don't know what we were before. We don't know the opportunities we lost. So we are just attached. You have to be Bharat Maharaj to not be attached. But to get to the level of Bharat Maharaj, then you have to also have the proper attitude towards the Lord. So he was a devotee. He made a little mistake. He got attached to a deer. He got born as a deer. But he immediately left. The mother died. And then again was born as a Jada Bharat. Can do it. If we want, we can do it. But do we want it? Nowadays, it's we read about Kali Yuga, the predictions, what's going to happen. But the things which you hear about, which you see about what people do, what they want, it's incredible. Just this end of Kali Yuga still should be more than 800 years to go. But 800 thousands of years. But it's so quick. Previously, people were a little conscious, so they were saying, well, I don't want to go to the lower species of life. I want to maintain at least on the human species of life, and I want to do things properly. I'm afraid, so I have to follow dharma. And some people, maybe they were enjoying the human life and being unaware, then they got into the other species of life. Now, the people in this body, they want to be dogs. It's so funny, actually. Like in one school in America, they had I think 2 girls, and they identified themselves as dogs. They have to be respected, they have to be recognized for it, they have to be tolerated by the teacher. So they can bark at the teacher. Then they have a little cages there. If they want, they can just go, take rest during the class because they are dogs. And teacher cannot say anything. It's like, where are we? In the UK, similar situation. I heard that now some in the schools, if you want to be a dog, teachers have to respect you as a dog, they have to give you the facility as a dog. You want to be a horse, you can do that, But the problem is that the teachers, they must tolerate it when the students identify with some other species. but at the same time, the law is that no animals in the school. So then, what to do? If there are animals, they should go out. But if we say you are not animal, then I am discriminating and I am going to be punished. I am going to be, kicked out as a teacher because for intolerance. How far will it go? There's no limit. The mind has no limit. It will go on as long as we let it. Just recently, in Japan, then I heard that there were thousands of people in Japan. They don't do it, right? They don't tolerate anything like that. So the people, thousands of people, they go into the streets protesting that they don't let them be dogs. It sounds funny, but it's very serious. It's the mind. And the mind, it's engaged into all this because it doesn't have proper engagement. The mind is not being properly purified. And the only way how to purify is the holy name. By hearing the holy name, then the purification can come. But who is going to preach the holy name? That's what we are meant for. We are supposed to do that. The holy name in every town and village. But are we focusing on that? Are we doing it? Maybe not enough. Maybe we should start doing more about it. We focus on distributing books. Okay, it's good. Books should be distributed. The Srila Prabhupada wanted it. But not just about the numbers, how many books we give, because many of these books the people never read. We just keep it. But we should distribute book also by studying the books and go and preach the books. Then we may get, we will get better result. People will be more, they have doubts. They don't know what to do. There are so many difficulties, so many problems, but the people even don't know that they have problems. The young people who want to be dogs, they don't know it's a problem. The hippies who were there being hippies, the indiscriminate sex, whatever, drugs and this, they didn't know it's a problem. Their idea was, I'm free. But their freedom, as they thought it's a freedom, it's actually more and more conditioned by the modes of nature. But how do they know that? How will they know that? There is no education going on, so they don't know. So the education has to go on. People have to come to know about it. And then, make a decision. Look, there is a manual how to use this body. This is what you are supposed to do. If you don't do it, you get this reaction. If you do it, you get this reaction. Which one you want? You choose. All right, so now I have I'm educated, now I can make decision. But if no education is going on, then yes, senses are there for what? To enjoy, right? Otherwise, if it's not for that, why would God give it to me? That's one of the arguments you hear from some of the Christians. We have it. But God gave it to you so you can enjoy it. But Bhagavad Gita speaks something else. So, we have to be very conscious about which understanding we take, which we follow. So if we get educated, now, of course, the fact is that if you don't know, then everything is bliss, right? Even suffering is bliss. No, because you may think kind of like, oh, this is different. So you may start enjoying actually suffering. There are people, they enjoy pain. They are looking for, they feel it's an excitement. No, they are looking for what gives adrenaline. But we know this is not. That's not the right way. You will get reactions. But you have to study. But many people don't want to study. So at least they have to be told, they have to be encouraged to look into. Some basic principles have to be explained. And that is to be happening not in the schools. But in the schools, no, we don't teach. There is no God, no anything which is connected to God. It's taboo. No. Why? Because if you know about God, and if you know, then there are some restrictions, then you cannot enjoy your life. And it actually happens once you start reading and you start understanding how it works, how the body works, how the senses work. And when you start understanding, if I do this action, I get this reaction, and then you connect it, and oh yeah, exactly what happened. That's how it works. Wow, this is right. So then you try to enjoy, once you know a little bit. You know what's going to happen. So enjoyment is very minimal. There is no enjoyment. There was one devotee. He started to dislike the association of devotees. No, whatever it was. So he looked for that. He left the association of devotees. He kept touch with few, but no, he thought kind of like, this is not good. No, I don't like it. But he could not forget the association. He could not forget Krishna, but he wanted to. So then he decided, okay, what can I do to forget Krishna? So then he said, let me go, I will join a cargo ship. I will be there. And cargo ship, now the lowest class of people, all kind of everything, all the rules, all the restrictions, everything is broken. The regulatory principles, everything is there. Drugs, sex, meat eating, everything is there. So he said, okay, let me do that. I'll just break all the regulatory principles. I'll forget Krishna. So he was there for many months. And he was in touch with the devotee. And then after his experience, he was complaining to the devotee, look, I tried everything. I tried, but I cannot forget Krishna. When I try to enjoy, I know what's going to happen. I know I cannot enjoy. So it's suffering for me from the beginning till the end. I can't do that. So that's our situation, right? We know little. And then we know kind of like if I do something wrong, I get the punishment for it. So I'm not supposed to do anything wrong, but I want to do wrong. That's due to our conditioning. So now it's up to us to become more serious and to accept it as it is. Okay, yeah, if I do something wrong, then I will get punishment, but I don't want to get punishment, so I should not do anything wrong. And if I do something wrong, then okay, let me take some punishment for it, but I should start thinking about, this is not good. I must prevent myself from doing wrong things, because ultimately it's not pleasing Krishna. And ultimately I'm getting punished, so I don't want to. So first we can start working on ourselves out of fear. I don't want to get punished. Then you can start getting a little concerned about Krishna. He is so merciful to us, and He is giving us so many opportunities, some wonderful ways, but I am cheating. I don't want to do that. So my duty is to not cheat. My duty is to follow. What am I supposed to do? Okay, there are the rules and regulations I'm supposed to follow. Okay, that's what I'll do. And ultimately, when the jiva becomes purified, then the ruchi, asakti, that develops, and then the love starts manifesting for the Lord. And then you start thinking, well, I love Krishna, why would I do something which He doesn't like? That's a nonsense. I won't do it. So that way then we can start working on ourselves, and we can share our realizations from the very beginning with others. That inspires others. That gives the strength to others, so they can also follow the path and then give up doing nonsense. Nothing else. Not just reading some book, reading to somebody. That won't help that much. The jnana is not the most important. It's vigyan. How are we applying the jnana in our life? Share that. Show that to people. And then we will see change. Then people, rather thinking that I want to be a dog, then maybe I want to be a devotee. So from the bodily consciousness, one will start focusing on the Krishna consciousness. And that's our goal. That's what we are supposed to do. That's what Srila Prabhupada wanted us to do. So that's some opportunity can be taken and can be utilized for all of us. We all can do. Because one can preach, even if you don't preach from Bhagavatam, you can just preach by your behavior, just by what you do, your lifestyle, just how you dress, what you do. That's all. It's very powerful preaching. And people can follow your example. And as we know, if they take up chanting of the holy name, then it's always for better. Some realizations will be there. And even if the realization is that, okay, I don't want to do that anymore, but at least he realizes that I cannot enjoy anymore. The senses I cannot enjoy. So sooner or later, anyway, he will come to Krishna consciousness. The Lord, one of the greatest mercy of the Lord is when He becomes Hari to the devotee. He takes everything away. Possessions, relationships, everything. Then he is alone. And then there is a time to contemplate and to connect to Krishna. But he will not do it to anyone. He will only do it to those who are ready. So if we want to enjoy material life, Krishna will not take it away from us. Just you go on. But if you have enough of it, and Krishna knows us from inside. So if he knows that by taking away, we benefit, that we will be able to give up the material attachment and embrace the spiritual attachment, then he will do. But if he knows, if he sees that you will lament by losing your material attachments, then he will not do it to you. But when he does it, then know it, this is the greatest mercy of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yeah, there. Oh.
Maharaj, what does Shuddha Sattva means?
Shuddha Sattva. Sattva means goodness, and Shuddha Sattva means pure goodness. So in the material world, then Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So there are the qualities of goodness, passion and ignorance. But they are always mixed. So when we say goodness, means predominant is goodness. Rajas, no, predominant is passion. Tamas, predominant is passion. But there is nothing pure. So that's material world. So even somebody who is on platform of goodness, he still have some tinges of passion and ignorance. So that's in the material world. But Shuddha Sattva is Sattva without any material quality, without any Rajas or Tamas. And this is the quality which they have the devotees in Vaikuntha. So that's Shuddha Sattva. Yeah. There.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for a very nice class. What advice do you have for a devotee that has problems following the principles? Like for a year he would be fired up doing book distribution, and then a year he just totally blooped, and then it goes back again, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
See, what I would advise, I would probably first advise the devotee to become more introspective, try to find out if he can find what's the root of it. There is always a reason, there is a cause. And most of the time is association. So he is doing something and he is doing mechanically and he is not getting taste from it. So the mind is not happy. So then he goes looks for some association and he sees, oh look, they look happy. So let me enjoy with them. Now we can go for some drinking or some having some little sex here and there, some drugs, and it's a happiness. With suffering also, but at least some. But when I do mechanically, then it's not really giving me any happiness. So if that's the cause, for example, then we should look into, then I'm doing some spiritual activities, but I'm not getting taste. Why is that? Shastra, Guru, Sadhu says we will get the taste. Everything will be perfect. No, Yaksha Prabhupada says, no, chant Hare Krishna and be sublime. No, be happy. No, but I'm not happy. An example, there was one man, and he was a very rich man. And there was some yogi guru. He was having some siddhis, and somehow he started to like that rich man. And he would come sometimes for some discourses or some talks. So the yogi decided, okay, I would like to have him as my disciple. So one day, actually the yogi, he comes to his house, and he said, I got a vision that you will become my disciple. So become my disciple, then you can practice with me. And he said, I am not ready for that. I'm still too attached. No, I cannot do it now. Okay. Some months later, again the yogi comes. Said, no, you must become my disciple. No, I'm not ready. I have family. I cannot renounce. I cannot do it. Okay. Some months later, the yogi comes again. Now you must become my disciple. Come immediately. He said, what? No, get lost. Go. I don't want to see you. So the yogi got really upset. So then he did some powerful tantra. He did send some Brahma Rakshasa on that person. And the person, then he started to suffer. He was sick, he was almost dying, but no doctors could help. They didn't know why. But there was one of his friends, he knew some powerful tantric, so they figured out, okay, he sent a Rakshasa, Brahma Rakshasa on you, and then he's killing you. But I know some tantra, how can counteract that? So he did that, he protected him, and the Brahma Rakshasa, the rule in tantra is, you send somebody on someone, and if that living being cannot kill that person, he comes back and kills you, because you humbled him. So he kills him. So then the yogi is dead, and he himself becomes Brahma Rakshasa. And now he goes and he bothers that person. So he is suffering. And so what am I supposed to do? And there was some, his friend, okay, and he was some friend of some devotee. So the devotee said, chant Hare Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna and you will be protected. So he started chanting Hare Krishna. Then he is, when he chants Hare Krishna, he is protected. But when he is not chanting Hare Krishna, then he is being bothered. So he has to chant Hare Krishna. So, now actually it starts, there was one Babaji, and there are some other Babajis, they ask, you look so unhappy. Now, why are you so unhappy? Well, no, I'm not happy because, and now he explained the story. That was the rich man, he became Babaji. So now he started to think, well, if I have to chant always Hare Krishna, not to be bothered, so let me become Babaji. So he becomes Babaji, then he chants Hare Krishna, but he's not chanting Hare Krishna, he wants to please Krishna. He's chanting Hare Krishna because he's protecting himself. So he's unhappy Babaji. So he's chanting there, but he is always thinking about himself, and he knows when he stops chanting, he will be bothered, so he's chanting because of that. So we should not come to that state. We should not be chanting Hare Krishna to protect ourselves, but we should look for to develop a taste so that we can chant to please Krishna. So from Sakama we should come to Nishkama. For that, then we have to follow the rules and regulations in the beginning. And beside the four regulative principles, that's a basic, But we have to also be very careful not to commit any namaparat. Those are very subtle, but they are very, very powerful. So, if we think that I can do whatever I want and I can just blaspheme any devotees, and I can do this, I can do that, I can criticize and progress at the same time, then it's fool number one. So one thing, we should become introspective and then stop ourselves from doing any kind of Vaishnava. We should become afraid of doing a Vaishnava or any Namaparat. Because in most of the cases, this is the reason why we are not getting taste for chanting of the holy name. So that would be my advice. Then first just look into that, and if there is something one can remember, then try to work it out. If there is some aparat or if there is some wrong thinking, then work it out. It may be an obstacle. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, can you give me more clarification on your point that you stress more on preaching rather than distributing more books? So because like Prabhupada said, if you will preach anyone, you will for your 3-4 minutes lecture, because he will forget, but when you will give my book, then...
Now, what does distributing books means?
Distributing books is conveying the message like Prabhupada gave as it is to that person.
Exactly.
Yes.
So if I give you a book, you say thank you and put it on a bookshelf. So I have a score, I have 1 point. What do you have?
But on other side, when anybody is preaching, because as we human beings, I have 4 defects. So there are chances that when he will convey the message, maybe some modification.
Chances maybe. That's why Guru Sadhu Shastra.
Yes.
So one should preach according to the Shastra. My point is, that's one way of distributing book. I give you a book, Vidyādān, right? Vidyādān. But I can also tell you what's inside the book. Oh, really? I have some questions. So ask. Oh, this is like this is like that, that's because of this. Wow, really? That's inside the book? Yes. Oh, I'll read it. Did you distribute book? You distribute book with the encouragement of the person, or developing enthusiasm of the person to read the book. So, I'm not against distributing books. But those who distribute books should read the books, study the books, and should also be preaching about the books. Many of the book distributions also happens like incognito. Oh, this is some yoga book. No, just take it now, and then don't look at now. Just take it, look after. And many people just throw it into the bin when they figure out it's Hare Krishna's, because we have bad reputation somewhere. But if you preach to the people, yes, that's a book from Hare Krishna. You know what's Hare Krishna? No, actually, no, it's very powerful mantra. We should not be afraid to speak that. Oh, yes, then explain to me why is this, why is that. Okay, I'll explain. And then, no, you get the person right on the spot convinced about what that it solves his problems in life. He is going to go to his friends. He will say, wow, I had talked with Hare Krishnas and they are so good. They know everything. That's a preaching. And then it can exponentially happen. I'm not talking about giving classes, just you read, okay, let's go home. No, you have to give opportunity to ask questions and then to explain. So you have to talk from your realizations. That's what I'm saying. Talk vigyan, not gyan. Then it's interesting for the people because it's practical for the people. If you know Gita, back to front, and you can recite it, okay, it's nice. But if you don't know what it means, and if you don't know how to apply it in your life, what's the use? Go for a contest. Win some contest that you know how to recite Gita. Okay. But what does it mean to you in your life? Explain to me, how can I apply Gita in my life? Oh, I don't know. So, that's a book distribution. You distribute the essence of the books to the people. You listen to the people. You answer their questions. Then they will take the book seriously. Then at home, they have a time and they can study it. And if they have some question, they know they can call you. Look, I just read something, I don't understand what it means. Please, can you explain? Yes, I can. That's a preacher. Preacher means teacher. That's how it goes. So that's how we should approach book distribution. Yeah?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Nice class today. Maharaj, it is being said that every entity is having inner, that's Atma and Paramatma both. So when the super soul is meant for generally God, then how again Atma is also the called as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Because at one contest Prabhupada has given, Atma is also equivalent to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Generally Atma and Paramatma both were identified in a particular entity. Is it both the same? Atma and Paramatma?
See, Paramatma is Krishna himself in the feature of the Paramatma. So he is the Super Soul. He is the Kshirodakashay Vishnu. And he is present everywhere. Paramatma, he is Kshetragya of the absolute creation. So Krishna knows, through the feature of Paramatma, he knows everything what's happening. Because by him, everything is sustained. Everything is being properly maintained. And he knows because of that. So it's a Paramatma, he is in our heart and he is watching. He is just watching. The Upanishads, they speak of two birds on one tree. One bird eats the fruits, enjoys the fruits. The other one just sits and watches the bird. So, the one who is enjoying the fruits, that's the Atma. He thinks, I am this body, and the body gives me some pleasure. So, I'm enjoying that. And Paramatma, no, he is watching. He is just saying, what are you doing? And when you are ready, that I don't want to enjoy, then he takes you. But if you want to enjoy, he will give. Because you don't have the control over anything. Nothing belongs to you. It's all Krishna's energy. So Paramatma can arrange. Your body was arranged by Mahamaya, but ultimately, due to the Paramatma's involvement. Because Krishna knows what you want. But it's still material body and that doesn't belong to you. So you can only desire. And Paramatma then will sanction your desires or not. It's up to him. So as Atma, we have tiny free will. So we can think what we want. And Paramatma, then sees if he is going to sanction it or not, it's up to him. So as an Atma, we are supposed to be also Kshetragya. We should know our body. But we don't know anybody else. I have no idea. Cannot read mind, right? So, therefore, but we don't even know our body. So we are supposed to be educated, and we are supposed to know how is the mind working, how is the intelligence working, what's the consciousness. But we don't care about it. We keep ourselves in ignorance. Ignorance means I don't know how it works. I'm not happy about it. So that's a big problem. So that's the difference between the Atma and Paramatma. Atma is still, it's a pure substance, it's Satchitananda, but it can get covered by Asat, if he wants, for the purpose of acting, for the purpose of playing a role of enjoyer. So it gets covered, forgets who he is, and then, like an actor. Actor, when he plays really good role, he forgets who he is. He's so absorbed in playing the role that he really thinks that he is that. So that's what we are. That's what we are doing. But as soon as we desire the covering to be removed, then Paramatma is the one who can immediately arrange it for us. And then we can now become conscious, Krishna conscious, Anandamaya. Yeah? Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Pramananda. Hare Krishna.